Good morning, West Coast. This is Kim in for Cameron, and it's a lovely morning here. They're still working on the outdoor swimming pool right outside of our radio station. It's looking good, looking like we might be able to swim this summer. Come on by and say hi to us. We love having visitors. We're feeling a little lonely these days because it is kind of hard to park and come up and say hi, but we'd love to meet you. If you're new to town, you don't know us, we're Tuff City Radio. We're on 371 Main Street, and we love having visitors stop by. This morning we have some really amazing visitors in the house. I'm really happy to have What's Brewing in the Biosphere. This is a monthly show here on Tuff City Radio. And, this has been, spearheaded by Marianne Paquette and Michelle Hall and Brooke Wood and Rebecca Hertz. Your mic's not on, so Michelle's really helping me in the background here, but you'll know once I turn her on. And this morning, they kind of have like rotating topics, and this topic today is going to be all about Earth Day, and as well as introducing a really interesting partner, a support for the CBT, and we're going to learn a little bit about what they are doing. So we have Harbour Air in the house, we have Janessa Dorstadter in the house, and then we have Michelle Hall in the house. So welcome, everyone. I'm now turning you on so you can say hello.
Hello.
Hi. Whoa.
Is this loud in your ears? Is that why you're wowing?
It feels loud.
Okay, I'm going to turn
You sound great.
I'm really interested in the swimming pool option outside.
Yeah, it's great. So this is, I had a friend that was living on a float house in the middle of Clayoquot Sound, and it was just absolutely breathtaking. And every day she woke up to, herons and eagles and orcas. And then they started logging right behind her. So land was quite close to her float house. And every day she woke up to chainsaws and the reverberation in her kitchen, and her glasses would shake. And there was this constriction, right? And she just really disliked living in her home. She decided to alchemize the experience about 4 months in. And she said, okay, every time we hear the chainsaws, she said to her partner, no matter where we are in the house, let's just run across the room and hug each other.
I love it.
And within, days, they stopped hearing it, and it really became almost a joke. So this is our little nod to this idea, and this is our swimming pool.
I feel it.
And you feel it?
I like it,
And
yeah.
so when we're doing interviews and recording commercials, and you can just hear drilling, and our clients say, like, why is there drilling in our commercial? We say, because we're building a swimming pool.
I love it.
Okay, so there you go.
I'm
That's
down.
the answer.
Yeah.
So there's always that opportunity in life, and I'm not always that good at it, but she inspired me to, try to change how you see the uncomfortable
Rewire
things.
that brain and the feeling and the emotion that's attached to it.
Yeah, like the dog barking often. I have to really say, oh, well, he's protecting us. From what? A leaf blowing. That's okay.
I'm so glad that Luke is here today, by the way.
Thank you. Cameron's also
Love
glad.
it.
He loves when Luke is on the radio. So thanks for having me do the interview. Cameron had some dental surgery yesterday, so he really wouldn't be able to talk very well. And I'm going to hopefully bring out all these issues that you have to share. I know there's a lot, but if I forget anything, you just feel free to just cut me off and roll with whatever you want to roll with.
I'm really excited to. I've never been with you before on the
Here
radio.
we go.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, are you taking pictures? We have a social media person in the house taking photos. Did you capture this love? Okay, she captured it. Okay, we're going to start with Janessa. Do you mind introducing yourself to our listeners and just saying what you do with the CBT?
Yeah, I'm Janessa. I work with the CBT as the Conservation Partnerships Coordinator. So I'm all about building partnerships for conservation, getting folks who are working in the conservation, stewardship, restoration fields together to work together and do the good work that needs to be done out here.
Is this a new position with the CBT?
Yeah, it's fairly new.
Okay. How long have you been working with them?
A little over a year now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you do before?
Oh, I've been in the area for quite a while, just working for, the various actors that I now help to work together, doing the environmental work, being out in the field.
Yeah. And so if it's a conservation project that you're working on, excuse me, how might we see that? Like if we're living in Tofino or Ucluelet, how could we see something that you've worked on or partnered to work on?
The work that it's kind of like you kind of don't see it if it's done well,
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that answer.
I like that.
Okay. Tell us somewhere in the biosphere that you have worked on or that you've partnered with someone to work on.
Yeah, a lot of the work that we're doing is in partnerships with nations or organizations like Redfish or the aquarium. So work's being done kind of beyond what most of us see when we're looking out across the water, but it's done, in the streams. It's restoring banks on precious watersheds, that kind of work that's really important in safeguarding our environment and making sure that we have, the safe water to drink that we need and all of the other services that our ecosystem provides.
That's great. Have you worked on a project in the last year that you've really enjoyed, that's felt successful to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting to see a lot of the work that the different guardians for different of the nations are working on. So, a lot of the partnerships we work on helps folks get on the water, get on the land, and build those streams back up and help restore the ecosystems. And
I don't know if CBT, and apologize if you do have this, I don't know if CBT has what Redfish has with their social media videos. And so what I love about Redfish is that they'll post little reels of the conservation work that they do. And what I notice is I'm like, I don't know that person. There are so many people working here in conservation that I've never met. Not to say that I know everyone. I truly don't probably anymore since having kids. I'm kind of socially retreated. But in general, I'm like so amazed by how many new faces there are working in this field and that it's growing.
It's growing.
It feels so encouraging.
It does.
And so does CBT video the projects that they work on?
yeah, I mean, a lot of our work is done in partnership.
Very cool.
But yeah, I really get behind that. Storytelling is such an important piece of this puzzle when it comes to protecting our environment. And it's really important to make sure people are excited about the work that's being done, that they know about the work that's being done, and, you know, understand that importance.
And even to understand, like, the limitations of being in a biosphere, what that means, and then all the benefits of being in a biosphere. You know, it's for visitors that come to the region. So
Yeah,
totally.
Interesting.
And folks can get involved.
Yeah.
Earth Day is coming up.
That's right. So folks, meaning residents or visitors, what do you think?
Everybody. Earth Day is a celebration. It's worldwide. Everybody can get involved. It's a party.
That's great.
Everyone's invited.
That's wonderful. And I remember quite a while ago, it used to be like the district and the Rain Coast Education Society, and they used to kind of run Earth Day. But now it seems like many different organizations are doing something.
Totally.
So tell me, what's going on for Earth Day? When is Earth Day?
Earth Day is April 22nd. CBT is too excited to wait, though. We're going to be hosting our event on the 20th. It's a Saturday, April 20th. And we're hosting a BioBlitz through iNaturalist.
I love it.
What's a BioBlitz?
A
You have
BioBlitz.
everything, Michelle.
It's too good. BioBlitz.
Yeah, a BioBlitz is a massive citizen science project. So folks get outside with their smartphones and they collect data on the biodiversity around them. I can get into the how of that.
Yeah.
Have you?
Obviously, I want to know the how of that.
How does that happen?
I want to do something useful with my smartphone, so
yeah.
please help me.
I know, what a cool synergy of smartphones and being outside.
let's
so,
hear it.
like, I'm sure you've been walking through the forest, maybe to Tonquin or some cool
I have.
path or trail like
Yes,
that.
I have.
And have you seen like a weird insect or a cool tree and think,
Yes.
what is that?
Yes, I have. Like, I have an app for plants.
Amazing.
So I do have that, and I'll just like take a picture of it, and then it will pop up.
Totally. Yeah. So that is possibly iNaturalist. It's a great tool. It's used by over 1 million people last year. They collected like 41 million observations. Half of those are research grades.
Wow.
So what's really cool
That's
about
a
this
lot.
app, which maybe you've already used, is that you don't need to have your naturalist friend with you that's super keen. This can replace them.
So like sometimes I get excited about AI, and sometimes I'm terrified.
Another example
I
of
don't
AI
want-
replacing our precious people.
I don't want you to be replaced.
Oh,
Vanessa.
no. So I would strongly recommend going out with your keen naturalist friend. But if that person's not there and you have that question, you can snap a picture of that cool plant or that weird bug, and your smartphone can tell you exactly what it is. And if that quality of photo is high enough, and your geolocation is on, that data is recorded, so then scientists and researchers can go back and use that for future projects.
That's wild.
Genius.
Yeah, so it's a really cool, massive citizen science project, and it's pretty cool to be a part of.
And then
worldwide.
will they respond and say, we don't know this item if there's...
Yeah, sometimes like
information?
AI only goes so far.
Right.
So sometimes we won't be able to distinguish quite to the level that you might want. So researchers, real human beings, can go back in afterwards and confirm your ID.
Do you know if it's pretty accurate? Like if they're giving wrong species, or if it's pretty bang on, people are getting
Yeah, I
the
think
right
it depends on,
information?
like, it's, trained on information. So some really rare species might be a little bit trickier, but for the most part,
I love that for harvesting too, because so many people here are getting into that. And I remember doing a naturalist walk and someone saying, there's more plants in this forest that can kill you than are edible.
Uh-oh.
So like, right, and with mushrooms, and I just love the idea of people knowing before they eat.
Right.
Yes.
I would caution, though,
Yes.
your
Don't trust
reliance.
the robot.
Don't trust
for-
the robot.
for what we can eat. Okay, that's a good one. Okay,
Yeah.
don't trust the robot on harvesting, but use the robot for
To
gathering this
learn,
information.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Then there's
Okay.
such a history of, coming together and celebrating the environment in this region. And like we said, just a few minutes ago, there's so much work happening to restore and protect and research these important ecosystems. So you might not be a biologist, but you can definitely be a part of the movement if you want to.
I love that.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So how are you starting the Blitz?
Yeah, so the way you do it is if you have a smartphone, you can download iNaturalist. And there's a project within iNaturalist that's called CBT BioBlitz. So you find that project, and then you can just start snapping and recording, and all of that information goes into that big project.
Are you trying to find it now?
Yeah,
Kim?
kind of. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think that I'm fast and clever enough to do it as she's talking, but in fact I'm not.
We have
So
wonderful information
go to
online
the app. Go to
about
the
it.
App Store. Let's break it down.
Okay.
Okay. Go to the App Store.
Store.
And then
iNaturalist.
iNaturalist. Okay, this is so easy. Are you listening, everyone? Okay, I found
You
it.
found it. It's green. It has a little bird
Yep,
on it.
Yep, I have it. Perfect. And then I find your project.
Exactly. You got it.
And this is free.
Yeah.
And now you can start finding those little critters. Do you do that with your kids? Do you go out and look for things?
About that, little critters, hey? Just little critters. No.
And CBT is not the only organization doing this kind of exciting celebration of biodiversity on
Okay.
Earth Day. There's more.
Tell me.
I'll tell you. You can go out and bust broom with redfish on April
Great.
27th. You can support a local NGO and learn about things like seaweeds or birds through Raincoast Education Society's
Great.
coordinating courses. And our beloved MUP is getting a facelift on April 20th as well.
It's been going for so
Surf
long.
Rider, yeah.
What
every
do you
year.
mean? Tell us. What's happening to
Surf
the map?
Riders coordinating again annually.
Yeah.
This cleanup. Take it away, Michelle. I can just see you're so excited.
I need to talk about them up. I mean, Surf Rider is so special to me. They've been doing the mop cleanup for so long now, and it was actually the Wiccan Nation that started it. Like, let's clean up the mop, and we partnered with them, and then it evolved into in almost the entire stretch from town all the way down to the Tofino tourism area, and different organizations along the MUP took a responsibility for a section of the MUP. So yeah, on April 20th, Surf Rider are out there again doing the MUP, and throwback to when I remember doing it, and we were just about to use the data of what we found to petition local council to ban plastic bags, and someone said, why don't you take everything that you find in the MUP and put it outside council chambers on the day of your presentation? And I'm like, I'm a little bit of a, not really a rule breaker, but I was like, okay, let's do it. And it was really impactful. And so, these events like the MUP cleanup, like the brush broom, is it brush broom?
Yeah.
It's just so great to collect that kind of data and then see what you can do with the data to make change.
And you know what you can do if you're bending over to pick up that piece of garbage and you find a cool critter that you don't know about?
Oh, I like
Snap
it.
it.
Snap it. I
You
like
guys
that.
love critters. I like slugs. Does
slugs
that
are
count?
good, yeah.
Slugs are cool.
So I'm going to just hog the mic for a sec with Surf Rider, because they have a social event following that night, the cleanup. They'll be at the general store, and they got a film playing. And what's really exciting about April, aside from it being Earth Month theme, is that this month, Lily and the Surf Rider Canada team are going to Ottawa because they're in the 4th round of negotiations for the Global Treaty for Plastic Pollution. It's really exciting. 175 nations have signed up to the treaty, and Lily's down there as part of the negotiations representing Surf Rider, and she's with some big players like Greenpeace and David Suzuki. So I'm so excited for that, to see what happens next.
She's coming in tomorrow to talk about it. So
Yes.
good segue, Michelle. Yeah.
Well, this month's Earth theme is actually planet versus plastics. The theme of Earth Day this year is all about plastics. So
okay.
it's fantastic.
That's wonderful.
Plastic
so
isn't
this is the
fantastic.
20th, even though Earth Day isn't, in fact, until you were saying you're starting all these events earlier than Earth Day.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the 20th is the cleanup of the map and the movie event. And your event, the Blitz, is
The 20th, you can get started
both?
right now. You
Awesome.
can do it afterwards.
okay. Anything else going on that weekend before Earth Day that we need to know? No?
I'm sure there's lots.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you're struggling to find an Earth Day event that is suitable for you, yeah, Earth Day has like their own website these days.
So are you doing the same thing with the cleanup this year? Will you be measuring? And I know a lot of surf Friday cleans, they measure what they collect.
Yeah,
same thing.
They count, so they separate the materials into the different material types, so plastics, compostables, and then they see what they can recycle and what can go to the really cool new plastic depot in the ACRD landfill there. They have an ocean plastics drop zone, so all that plastic that's found in this region now gets recycled through Ocean Legacy in partnership with Surfrider. So really cool stuff, because that's only been there in the last 4 years, I think.
Okay.
And it's because of collecting data and being a little science nerd and doing the work, and
And is there a surf competition kind of around the same weekend? I was thinking.
I think you're right. Canada Surf,
like the Rip Curl or something. I could be wrong about the dates, but I was just thinking it's so. It's great to just tap into like that wider community. So I don't know if they're involved. I know they try to leave a light impact, but I know there's lots of cans and plastic bottles that usually end up, in the
Surfrider always attend those surf comp events, and help manage their waste into different streams. So hopefully they're there again.
Yeah,
it's a lot on volunteers though. A lot of this work is volunteer led, and so. But as you were saying before, it's really great to see that there's so many people now involved in have environmental careers, and that's just growing. And not just condensed for Earth Month, it's like year round.
And do you think CBT will become the hub? It's nice to just have, I get there's all these branches, but it's nice to have a hub, like a go-to, like let's check in with the CBT and what's happening on Earth Day, or like you're building this new Biosphere Centre, right?
Yes.
Will that become like a hub for Earth Day?
I love that you've made this a good
Really?
segue.
I feel like you're just a leader, like people always need a leader.
Well, this is the thing about the Biosphere Centre. It's going to be a year-round knowledge hub. That's a permanent site. It's going to be built to advance sustainable development. And for the listeners who haven't heard about the Biosphere Centre yet, the Clayoquot Biosphere Trust are building a Clayoquot Sound Biosphere Centre. It's going to be this knowledge hub of science and research and education and conservation, reconciliation, all of the good things that this community wants and needs. And from a sustainability perspective, the Biosphere Centre is really going to be able to host year-round events that are connected to ecosystem initiatives and sustainable development and climate action. Has so many different parts of the building that can host different events. Can I talk about them?
Yeah, I want you to. It is still a bit of a mystery, right? Not everyone knows what you're up to and the plans and how beautiful it's going to be. And how far along are you in fundraising? Is it complete?
I'm going to share.
Okay.
Little bit by little bit.
Okay.
So if you haven't heard about the Biosphere Centre yet, I haven't been doing my job properly. Oh my God, I need to get out more. It's 9,400 square feet of state-of-the-art building over 3 floors, and it's going to have some really incredible communal areas that are built for community and visitors and residents. So it'll have this huge workshop and education space that can host events like the ones Janessa's just talked about. It can host events that the West Coast Nets organized, visiting schools that want to participate in a learning opportunity when they visit this area, because this area is so unique. It's abundant with biodiversity. It really is a learning laboratory. And like you say, we need a permanent hub for these for people to be able to come to and access all of this fantastic education that's available. It'll also have a huge library and archive section, because we want to continue to build this body of scientific research that can advance sustainable development and climate action. And it'll have a teaching kitchen for all of the programs that are connected to food security and canning and preserving, and I know that you do those kind of things too, Kim, so maybe you can host a workshop there.
Oh yeah, okay.
I like that.
I could do a workshop. I'm mostly on the plant medicine side of things, and it doesn't require that much skill or like preservation skill. I think that's a whole other
I think
Can of worms. You like the way I did that?
can.
You like that?
I think that we need to know more about plant medicine.
Yeah.
I think we need to know more about the local fauna and plants in this region, the traditional ecological knowledge that's
Yeah.
out there. And this, the Biosphere Centre really will be a hub for bringing all of those experts in one place. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. So in a nutshell, yeah, the Biosphere Centre is a place for learning about this incredible biosphere region. We are a UNESCO biosphere designated region, and every 10 years you have to go through a periodic review to uphold that designation. And we've got an incredible amount of research and that can be available to the public to come and have a look at what's happening in this region, what's been researched, what's been found with the critters and the iNaturalist, all of the things.
Can children come and
Yes.
and visit it and do some hands-on learning there, or just different from outside their school?
No, it's it's all, everybody's welcome in the Biosphere Centre, all ages. The actually off the main entrance to the Biosphere Centre will be like an exhibition area, so that will have rotating exhibits from everything from what the UNESCO Biosphere region is to Truth and Reconciliation to any local environmental conservation projects happening or neighbourhood small grants projects that have happened in the region.
So you might need ongoing grants to keep up with a rotating exhibition. Like that sounds like that's a big, like just that in itself is a big endeavor, having a live exhibition, right?
Well, you know what? There's lots of exhibits that are already happening in this region, but just don't have the space.
Oh, really?
And so, you know, an example being the Truth and Reconciliation exhibit in partnership with the Legacy of Hope Museum that the USS School host is great. But, you know, having a culturally safe permanent space for those kind of sensitive exhibits, the Biosphere Centre is going to be built as a culturally safe space to be able to host things like that. So I think there's just a real need for accessible space in the community, so people have options to present their work and showcase their work. And yeah, the other really piece that I wanted to chat about that I'm really excited is that the building itself will be built as a living building. Have you ever heard of a living building?
Oh, I'm just dying for one because I'm looking this one down here. You can't see it from where. It's a living building.
What's happening?
There's some straw grass on the roof. I got so excited when they first did it. The shore.
Well,
You know,
yes, I've seen it.
right?
Yes.
And so, I mean, it's living. I don't know if they're growing anything there, but it's still a green roof. And I get, like, my whole body gets excited when I see these kinds of
those green roofs.
adaptations to
Yes.
what we're used to.
Yes.
And I know it costs more money, and I really appreciate you going to the effort to do that extra fundraising piece to have it be living. How will it be living? Like, will it be living like a living wall on the inside? Your roof is alive?
Oh my! I would love for the roof to be alive. It hasn't been set in stone yet, but to be a living building. So the Living Building Challenge is a sustainable building framework that the building has to be built to achieve this criteria. So how it began was a development committee of volunteers in this region chose what sustainable framework they wanted the building to be built to. And, you know, you've got those, you know, you've got certifications like LEED and, or is it, do you pronounce it LEED?
I think, yeah,
And-
LED. Yeah, LEED. It's great.
Something like
LEED's
that.
great.
And then we just felt like a lot of those certifications were checkboxes, and then we wanted something that really aligned with the region, really aligned with community values and CBT values. And the Living Building Challenge just seemed like a great fit because living buildings are said to be regenerative, they're self-sufficient, they connect their occupants to light and air and nature and build a sense of community. And we could get really into the technical aspects, but there's 7 different performance criterias of a living building. So I'm just going to look at my notes as well. They're all about place. So about restoring a healthy relationship with nature. It's about water, capturing water. And I know that there's lots of conversations right now happening in Tofino and this region about conserving water. So yeah, making sure that we are taking the load off the infrastructure and collecting our own water. It's about energy, harnessing solar. Now we don't get much sun here, but you know, let's collect what we can. It's about health and happiness, which is creating environments that optimize physical health and well-being, because happy people make happy communities. And then, you know, everything's possible when people are happy. Materials is one that I'm really interested in because it endorses products that are safe for species for all time and ensuring that we're not using anything that's going to harm the earth. Equity, and you spoke to this a little bit yourself, Kim, just supporting a just and equitable world, building a building with the designs that everybody feels welcome. You know, everything from an elevator to accessibility to gender neutral toilets to having lots of art curated from the nation so that it feels like a culturally safe space where everyone feels welcome, kids, adults, elders, everybody. And finally, beauty. And it's about celebrating design that really uplifts human spirit, because the building itself will be such an educational tool on sustainability that provides like an inspiration for what's possible in this region of like how you can build a building sustainable, and also be an inspiration for biosphere regions globally. I think we'll be the first place to have a building biosphere centre. So it's really exciting, but you're right, it all costs money. So I do have some exciting pieces of news. Yeah. I'm hoping you'll have us back in May to talk about the larger funding piece.
We will have you back in May.
Yes.
We have you back every month.
Thank you.
You can decide that that's what we can talk about.
Thank you.
You can totally hijack whatever is on the table. We'll give you the mic to talk about this.
That's
what's happening in May.
Love it. Well, right now, I'd just like to share two pieces of exciting information. Sometimes Cameron gives me some kind of like exciting drum roll. I don't know whether you have something in the bag or like
I totally
let's
do.
get people like worked up. Let's do it. Yes. I got it.
Sorry if that was painful for everyone.
We are super excited. We have had some support from a local family foundation over the last few years. They've been supporting Clayoquot Biosphere Trust. They've also done a lot in the community. They like to remain anonymous. They're really humble people. They have a family foundation, and they've been following our journey of the Biosphere Centre, and we've just received a gift of $500,000. So I have to take a break there. That's a long amount of money to say.
Yes, that's a lot of money.
It's like
from this family
foundation. It's $500,000, and it is so wonderful to receive that kind of local support. It gives other donors confidence, it gives government confidence, it gives local corporations confidence, and we just feel the momentum building.
So do you have this check without even the foundation of the building being built, or is there something that they're seeing that they're like, we are giving you this, we believe in you? Is there a building?
Yeah, well, they see our plans.
They see your plans.
We have schematic design, development. We are shovel ready. The building is ready to be built. Yes, I didn't include that. We have the land. It's been rezoned. We have all the schematics. It's shovel ready. It's just funding dependent.
Okay, how much does the building cost, Michelle?
The building costs an estimated $15 million, and I would love to talk more about that in the May show. Okay. But right now, I'm just jazzed on this momentum of we've had this local support, and it leads me on to my next piece of exciting news before I pass the mic, because I've talked a lot. Oh my god.
We just want to make sure you're completely talked out before you hand off that mic. I know you have something else to share. You can someone get this woman water. We've been chatting with Harbour Air, who came to our office last year and met CBT and learned all about our programs and sustainability initiatives, and they're really excited to hear more, and we were really excited about the work that they were doing in the community as well, and I know that Jessica's going to talk more about that. But we have been chosen as a recipient for the Share the Fair deal, and they've chosen to support the Biosphere Centre. So we're super excited for this corporate partnership. It means so much to us. We're really impressed with the support that they give coastal communities. But I would love to pass it over, and I know that we're going to do a song first, because I'm talked out and I'm like vibrating with all of the good news. Okay, we'll do a song so that we can get Harbour Air set up on the mic, and then maybe just talk about how other businesses could do what they're doing as well, and maybe share with our listeners how, if you're a business and you want to contribute to the biosphere, how do those partnerships work?
Okay,
so you will be talking again.
Okay, that's great. Thanks.
We're gonna go to a song. It hopefully will be Luke Wallace, but I'm not as good at this as Cameron. So let's see what happens here. Today and right now, we are doing What's Brewing in the Biosphere, and we've had the pleasure of talking to Janessa, Doris' daughter. She works as a conservation partnership coordinator with the CBT, and we've had Michelle Hall come in and talk to us all about the incredible building that she's been working on and putting so much love and energy into, as well as some of the events that are happening for Earth Day, and I'm assuming Tourism Tofino, you have that on your calendar. So thanks so much for letting us know always what's going on. Sounds like it's going to be a great Earth Day this season. So we were also talking about, ways that businesses, corporations can use their dollars to do good. So you can be like a family foundation and you can help fund the Biosphere building, or you might just be an airline, a humble airline. And you might decide to have your office in Tofino and then do something good with your dollars.
Yes.
And so we're turning the mic over right now to Harbour Air, Jessica Dunn. She's the head of marketing, and she is the brainchild, along with Michelle, for the Share the Fair program. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, and it's a pleasure to be here. It's been exciting to work with Michelle over the last few months to come together and announce today our partnership with Harbour Air and the Biosphere Centre. And a little bit about Share the Fair. Harbour Air has been doing this since 2017, and we have chosen, getting the mic closer, there we go. We have chosen over the years different partnerships. We can work with different organizations, and every Friday we provide $1 from every flight on Fridays to organizations that are in the Share the Fair program. And really exciting to announce that Clayoquot Biosphere Trust is now a part of our partnership. And so we've kicked that off today. And so going forward, part of the money that is collected on Fridays will be going towards and supporting the new Biosphere Centre. So Share the Fair, as I mentioned, started in 2017. So we've definitely been providing funds to different organizations like Big Brother, Connects Place, BC Cancer Agency, and more. Outside of that, we do a lot of community events and volunteering. And when it comes to sustainability, we thought this was for Harbour Air. Some of you may know or have heard we have an electric plane, and we've been having this electric plane flying since 2019. We've had over 80 test flights, and that's not where it all stops. And the goal of this e-plane is not just for our own fleet, but to also be able to pave the way in technology for other airlines to be converting into electric planes.
Cool.
And with all of that, sustainability is a huge journey. And also Harbour Air has been carbon neutrality since 2007. But us as an organization, we've decided that we want to go beyond that. And that means we want to be investing in things throughout our entire ecosystem. We love as a company to connect communities, and we really want to be to a point where we are better as a company here as Harbour Air than not being here. And so whatever we can do to support that, and that means providing even more sustainability research and support in that for the biosphere, as we change innovation technology to help our environment. And also when environment comes with the plane, it's not just, emissions and fuel, but also really interesting is that the sound pollution will actually be 20 decibels quieter than what we are today. So all of that within comes into sustainability and the ecosystem that we're all in. So
How do you decide as an organization, like assuming that that people, let's say, may be flying less, they're making more economical decisions, fuel prices are astronomical. How do you decide, okay, instead of like our bottom line that we need to meet, we're going to instead share the fare?
That's a great question. I think, standing for Harbour Air, standing and leading the way as an example, I think goes a lot further than just the bottom line.
Okay.
Right? It's not, yes, of course, as a business, it's always important to manage your budget, to be fiscally responsible. But at the same point, we're trying to lead the way. And even though we're being the first with regards to our sustainability, I think it comes important that we want to be here longer. We want to have keep the land that we're given, give it back better than what we've received it as. And I think that comes important sometimes more than what that bottom line is. But
and so when you say you're the first, are you saying like of the float plane industry in general?
so we were the first electric plane in the world.
Wow.
In the world, bump,
Wow.
bump. I was
Bump, mic
waiting
drop.
for your sound effect.
Love it.
Yeah. So
In the world?
in the world. So
I'm just not Google searching right now.
go for
I'm
it.
not on my phone looking at this.
So it's very exciting. And so right now as I mentioned, we've had 80 plus test flights. We are moving, we're hoping to be certified for passengers by 2026.
Cool.
So, we're doing a lot of investments. We've gotten, grants and things like that to help innovate and develop this. Being the first, of course, supply chain, we're, has its challenges, going through the infrastructure, just like automobiles, as we've noticed and heard about battery charging and things like that, still running into those things and challenges that we have with the development. But there's lots of different companies that are definitely working towards this, and it's the first to do it. But ultimately, it's all good work, and it's all moving forward to us to have, a way better transportation and sustainability. And again, you're not going to see Airbuses that are fully electric. I think it's going to be a hybrid of technology.
Okay. Have people flown on this yet?
We
Or
have a
just
pilot.
test?
This is test, but
Okay.
we are fingers crossed that Transport Canada and everybody else gets us certified by the year 26. And so
Because it started in 2022.
2019.
2019, so you're going to have to wait till 2026 to fly it?
So,
So you're racing against Richard Branson. My fingers are crossed for Canada because I'm definitely think he's doing something like this too.
there's lots of different companies, but,
But you're the first.
2019, we were the first.
I love this.
And 80 test flights. So we've tested from Victoria to Salt Spring last year.
How do you test it with the
Yeah.
pilot?
With a pilot.
So
and
brave
we fly.
pilot.
Brave
Wow.
pilot, fly, yeah,
Just one of him, or are there two?
one.
Oh wow, we should have him on. Talk about that experience.
Yeah.
Would he talk to us? I mean, this is really
Dimples.
cool. His dimple, young one.
Honestly, I think what's really cool, which we should definitely have, is Erica Holtz, who is our
know her.
lead engineer on the E-Plane project. So this is
Let's
her-
have Erica Holtz, and you'll
Yes.
come back on. with
absolutely.
Erica?
I would love
Great.
to. Yeah.
I'm sad that we didn't have you on in 2019. I totally didn't know, and I did Google search, and yes, you are the first electric plane.
Boom.
I thought it would have made bigger international headlines. Like, this is so incredible.
We have
Wow.
been definitely getting more, but it's really interesting. The less some people know about us, and they're like, "Can we get a ride? Can we book a ticket?" We
And-
still
and
get
not
booked
yet,
tickets.
not yet, right?
We're not there yet,
Okay.
but we really appreciate everyone excited about it. And then we have others that are like, "No, no way, you don't have this electric plane." So we're getting out there more and more with our with the story and what we would like to see at the end of the day for the company and ultimately the transportation and aerospace industry.
So who's at the helm of Harbour Air? I'm assuming, like, from a top perspective, this is important to the CEO or to these managing people.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bert Vandersteeg is our CEO. He joined Harbour Air back in about 18 months ago. Okay. So the founders of Harbour Air have retired, and we have our new CEO, Bert, and we have a whole team, new leadership,
and they're passionate about
everybody is very passionate
green business and keeping the air in the water. Because I would think a lot with flying. Obviously, it's the fuel and the impact of CO2 of flight. But when you're landing a seaplane, there's also got to be some runoff into the ocean, like oil and gas. Is that fair to say? And the electric plane wouldn't have any of that.
I would say, to be honest, I've not seen any runoff or whatnot with regards to the ocean when it comes to our planes, where our maintenance and our safety are on top and top notch. And I would say the complaints that we would see with anything to do with seaplanes would be more the noise pollution than I would say the pollution from the fuel.
Okay.
But overall, in transportation, fuel is definitely a subject, and how can we do better? And definitely have an electric plane, and doing shorter flights that we do means that it's more viable for us. We're not doing long hauls, but we're connecting, the communities. And so this is a great place to start as we're going into the innovation of electric.
And speaking of innovation, is Share the Fair just for the CBT right now? Could you be an organization and apply to be in the Share the Fair program? How would that work?
You can definitely apply. We are sharing the Share the Fair this year with BC Cancer Agency as well as CBT.
So it doesn't just have to be an environmentally minded organization.
No.
It has to be a charity?
We do appreciate that it is a charitable organization. We do other donations to organizations, and when they align with our brand and our sustainability initiatives, and we look at them as a case by case basis. But for Share the Fair this year is 2 organizations, and really bringing in the additional sustainability really supports overall arching of what we're wanting to establish of being beyond carbon neutral, and making sure that everything that we do and we touch has some sort of sustainability improvement opportunity. And so even some of our brands that we have in our terminals and products that we sell, this is great product locally by Tentree. And Tentree, every product that you purchase, they plant 10 trees.
Oh, cool.
So things that we're looking at where we can be more sustainable with the partnerships, the vendors, the technology, the innovation. It's not just one thing that will help change us.
Oh, well, thanks for having those products on site. I know it makes a difference to me when I can purchase and have some kind of positive effect. So that's great that you have that. What about the socks? The socks have, Michelle has some really cool Harbour Air socks. In case you see her today, ask to look at her socks. Are these socks like ecological socks? Will they biodegrade on your ankles over time?
They just make you really happy.
Okay. You told me happiness is important.
It is.
It counts for sustainability.
I'm flying high. How about that? Rebecca, the ED for CBT, actually bought me them as a congratulations for securing this partnership with Harbour Air. So,
well, congratulations.
I've had them on ever since.
Okay. Don't get too close when you look at her socks. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to share either about the center, Earth Day, or this incredible partnership? Anything I missed for Harbour Air?
We're so delighted, and thank you so much, Jessica and her team. If you want to hear more about the Biosphere Centre, if you would like a presentation or a beach walk or a chat, then get in touch with me. You can email me at michelle@clayoquotbiosphere.org. Or drop by the office. We're 316 Main Street. Pete Clarkson just made us some fantastic marine debris art, which is outside the office, so it's really bright, and so we're very visible. Come on in, and let's chat about the Biosphere Centre, and I'd love to hear from you.
How many people can you accommodate? Could you accommodate a group of 18?
In the office?
Well, to just chat. Do a Michelle chat outside the office?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, have you got 18 people?
Yeah, I will be trying to bring some school kids. Always try to get them out and learning.
Bring them?
Okay.
Yes.
You said it on air now, so you're bound to that.
I love school kids.
Okay.
I love
That's
it.
exciting.
Yeah.
And the art's in the building?
The art's outside the building.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, we can look at that. We can maybe ask Janessa to show us the iNaturalist
that would
app.
be cool. And then you could just talk.
Yeah.
Because you're good at that.
The accent.
You're great and you're engaging, and it's so nice for kids to learn outside of, and gives the teacher sometimes a little break.
Yes.
Walking down could be a cool little outing.
Yeah. How old are the kids? Let's just check in.
I was thinking maybe grade 4 or 5, older kids.
Love it.
Respectful.
Yeah.
and they're able to stay in one place and they won't
Yeah.
play on the road.
Yeah, I mean, the office is so sweet. It has a really nice patio now that's been rebuilt, and it has the outside back. But there's lots of interesting things within the office, whether you're a kid or a visitor. Yeah, just drop on in.
Okay, thank you.
Very welcoming space, but not big enough. That's why we need a Biosphere Centre.
Absolutely. Going to fit the whale in the Biosphere Centre? Or is that another organization? The Build-A-Whale.
Oh, yeah.
That could be his new home.
Well, it'll have an outside space with a fire pit and native plants, and
wow.
you can do your plant medicine. You can
Okay.
build a whale in the carport area. Anything is possible.
I don't think you really know what's involved with the Build-A-Whale. It's
I'm like,
very
how big is
laborious.
this?
It's an orca.
Okay. Oh, well, you know.
Have you seen the Build-A-Whale? The strawberry
yes.
Marine. Like,
Yeah.
that's their
I haven't-
organization. But he doesn't have a home. He lives in different pieces of a trailer, and it's a lot of work to tour him around and assemble him.
Oh, so he needs a permanent home.
Oh, I don't know that he needs that. And the organization might call me and be like, no, he doesn't. But I was thinking of your exhibition and thinking he'd be so cool in there. Whatever his name is, 120 or, and it's a very impressive whale.
Is it the size of this office?
No, it is half the size.
Okay. Yeah, we could easily fit that in the Biosphere Centre spot.
I just think it'd
I'm
be
down.
cool, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's an amazingly preserved orca whale, and it
That's
is
so
very
wonderful.
cool teaching
Yeah.
tool for not only like marine education but New Chalneth and First Nations culture. So,
Yeah, people want to know about that when they visit here. When you learn something, and when you go and visit somewhere, if you learn something while you're there, that place sticks with you.
Mm-hmm.
You remember it more. So, yeah, there's lots of opportunities to learn here.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in this
Thank
morning.
you.
Thanks for talking about what's brewing in the biosphere. I love that we have the noise of the float plane as we close our interview. So, congratulations on the partnership.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for tuning in.
Thanks so much.
To what's brewing. Thanks to the Clayoquot Biosphere Trust for trusting us to do this show once a month for you. We love doing it and having you on. Have a good morning, everyone. Thanks for listening.